Oh my. Guys, it's finally happened. You guys asked for it. We're going to be looking at my single player world. We loaded up a beta 1.4 version of Minecraft, and this is the last version which I played it on. And I'll get into the history of when I started this world as well as why I stopped updating it. Let's go ahead and get into the world. You can see it's called Ray's Kingdom World 1. And I loaded up another world too. This is a different world we might look at maybe a different day or later on. You can see the last time I saved progress in this world was way back in 2011. And it is a decent sized world, around 50 megabytes. Let's go ahead and get right into it. And I have no clue what we're going to be looking at, guys. I didn't check this world out ahead of time, just from memory of the last time I played on here. Okay, I recognize this spot. This is my mob farm. Yeah, you can see the bedrock. Everything looks a little bit strange. Oh, at least it's not too dark down here. I think this is my Redstone Testing area. This is where I work with different types of delays and switches. There's a lot to look into this world. Let's get into a little bit of the history of it. So I've been playing Minecraft ever since it was publicly available way back in the pre-classic time. There was an average about 500 people playing the game on a good day. This was all done through their website, and I went into more information about the very early days of Minecraft and how it was back then in my video covering 1,000 screenshots over 10 years of playing Minecraft. Let me turn down the sounds a little bit. Oh yeah, we got tons of options about sounds. Let's just do that there. Yeah, I highly recommend checking out that video. That video kind of covers a whole bunch of cool screenshots, most of which are not from this world, but instead of multiplayer worlds, you can see some really old stuff all the way up to almost the present day. So yeah, I'd almost recommend watching that video before this one, because back then it was a lot of playing on their website. And the entire time we were playing like on these servers, everybody was so excited because Notch announced that there were going to be a actual survival part of the game, like where you actually go against the zombies and fight them. You have to survive. All before then, it was only like a creative game where you would place blocks and pick up blocks. It's kind of like adventure mode, where normally it wouldn't fly, but you could place in blocks. But during this whole process of Notch getting ready to come out with the survival game, it was a big excitement in the community. And they eventually did come out with it, which was in dev, and that was a kind of a small world where you could survive on it, but it was very limited. Then they later came out with InfDev, which was the infinite worlds. And this was a time where Minecraft switched from being a free game to being a paid game. We had to pay to play this new version of Minecraft. And in the beginning, we only had one account for our entire family. So we were all playing on the same account. We take turns pretty much playing on the same world. And a lot of times if you listen to my streams, I'll talk about how I used to play with my siblings on our Minecraft worlds, and it wasn't actually us playing together on the same world. It was mostly us taking turns at the computer playing on the same world. And sometimes we'd even have like one person control the mouse, the other person control the keyboard, so that two people could play at the same time. We had many worlds that we played in, but all of them were kind of shared among all the family members. And this is the part where I decided I wanted to make my own world, and I wanted to be the only one in my world and kind of do stuff that I wasn't doing in the shared world. So that's why I started this world here, Ray's Kingdom, and I played this one on and off while also playing on our shared worlds as well as multiplayer worlds. This world doesn't represent my first world. It's actually probably like my 50th world. And it also doesn't represent everything I ever did in Minecraft. It just represents kind of a world I would come in by myself and do stuff. And I started this world back in IfDev when they expanded the worlds so they're infinite. Otherwise, you could easily reach the limits of the walls before. Now, the exact time which I started this world, I'm not too sure. But IfDev was started around February of 2010. And I'll talk about some historical things as we go around and look at different things in our world. So let's go ahead and start looking at some stuff. This is my railway system. I can definitely recognize this. I think this is where I had my booster rails. If you guys remember back in the day, booster rails was a way to get infinite power in the game. I might have actually played this game in the next version where power rails were added. I think there might have been a power rail here. But booster rails used to work before there was power rails. So I think it was something like this where the minecart here would go around in circles. And you would start your own minecart over here. Oh, okay, all the controls are so messed up. Start your minecart there. Yeah, there you go. You can see how the booster rail works. Oh, and there goes my minecart. Okay, I think it's gonna come back. If I remember correctly, it's a really steep climb over there. So yeah, they worked back here, the booster rails. We didn't need any power rails to send minecarts out. It looks like I might have updated some of my tracks. I might have power rails here too. And that was the main system to get around my base. We're currently sitting in the basement of my mob farm. There is a massive mob farm above us. You can see I went down very, very low in the world because the mob spawning is better down here. And I'm actually so low that when I put in my collection system, you can see how the items look. They look so crazy. You rotate, they rotate with you. They're all like flat. But yeah, when I put my collection system, I had to find a very special spot in the bedrock to let the water come in like this. And I don't know if I broke some bedrock to make this work. Can't quite remember. But yeah, you can see this is where I normally AFK. Those guys are still quite loud. Let me turn down a little bit more. You can see some of the controls. Graphics fancy. Got bobbing on. You got far distance. Some other controls. Some other video settings. Not too many to choose from. Check out controls. There's your basic controls. You can drop items, chat. You can even sneak in this version. I'll talk more about that. You open your inventory, and of course you can toggle fog, how far you want to see the fog. Yeah, you just sit down here, AFK, and put my loot into these chests. You can't shift click. There's no shift click in this version, so you had to manually grab everything, move it into the chest that you wanted it. And I remember when shift clicking came out, it was such a massive deal. Be able to easily move stuff in between inventories. You can see the chests are also staggered, kind of similar to what you would do prior to trap chests. Trap chests weren't added in the game at this time, and you couldn't put them close to each other. You can also see the chests look really strange. They're a full block, so they're not like partly indented, and they also have this like line in between the two sections. It's really strange. But yeah, this should have most of kind of the goodies that I would get off of the farm. And I would just shove them in here. Made a lot of TNT. That was my big thing I love doing, playing around with TNT. And I was pretty much just wanted to have chests that were all within range. So I think these guys are all kind of within range. I could click on them. Oh yeah, there's my gold apple stash. Here's my redstone chest. So I was kind of organized back in the day. You can see more of my loot. I don't know why I had so much stuff. It was just pretty much me playing on this world. I got a furnace in there. I also got my crafting table. Like everything within reach. Kind of like I am today. Also had my door so the guys wouldn't get into me, because this is like underground and I probably didn't do a very good job at lighting this up. Like I said earlier, this here is my redstone testing area where I test out different types of redstone switches, make really small circuits. Mostly circuits still exist in Minecraft today. We just use different mechanisms in order to do them. Let's see if I can find any. This is I think this is a memory circuit. So it would hold memory, like on this side holds memory. If I push this side, then it puts memory on this side. You can see it's switching the doors. Now you notice I do just pretty much have doors for everything because there are no pistons in this version. Yeah, this world is really, really old. Like, I don't know, what is the oldest world that you guys ever see people start their series in? Probably ethoslab. He has a really old series. Well, this world is actually older than his series. This is not only older than his current series, this is older than his old series. Another old world might be minecraftonline. That is the oldest Minecraft survival server. The single-player survival was opened 8 months prior to servers, though it's actually newer than this world. And this is the first time I'm also showing this world to the public. It was mostly just my private world. You can see they recently did come out with dispensers, so I was trying out dispensers. That was right around this version here. But when redstone was first added, it actually didn't have any uses. You couldn't do any logic with it or anything like that. Pretty much useless. But with the different components like the torches, and I'll show you some repeaters. I don't have any repeaters down here because this is my old setup. 4 repeaters were even in the game, and yeah, I think I have some examples of repeaters in here. There's a whole bunch of different things. These are all basic redstone circuits that you would use even today in Minecraft. And a lot of times you guys ask me like, how did you get into redstone? Well, there was no redstone when I started playing, and when it was added, I just did stuff like this. I experimented with different ways of using it and combinations. And once I conquer the basic stuff, then I just keep working onto more and more complex stuff. So we looked at the output of our mob farm. We'll eventually look at the mob farm. That's pretty epic. It's a big, huge, massive thing above us. I wonder, I don't know where that minecart went. A minecart that went down this way? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it looked like I might have played this in the next version. It looks like I might have switched out my world with power rails. So at that point, I wouldn't need the booster rails, but let's go ahead and walk it. You can hear mobs all around us. There's a good reason for that, because they are literally right above us. And I remember putting in this rail system. The rail system seemed so massive at the time. I had to go over top of this big, huge lava lake, which burned to obsidian. If I can get over top of it, you can see some of my redstone circuitry that goes to the mob farm. look at that in a bit. Let's go up here. This is a massive climb. So I'll talk about a little bit some facts about this world. There's no nether in this world. There's also no end dimension. Even though the nether dimension has been added since I was playing this world frequently, towards the end I was playing this world less and less, and that's why I never went into the nether even after they added it. So some other weird things about this world is that there is no weather in this version. There's also no saplings besides just the oak sapling. I'll talk about tree types as well, but we made it up here to the top. I think I know what's in these chests. You might not want to see this. Okay, so that one's okay. That's when they added in colored wool. I had fun coloring a bunch of different types of wool. One of these has, okay, this one, yeah. So at some point towards the end of playing this world, I started duping items. It is my single player world, and I duped them just to kind of have fun, but that is one reason why I slowed up in playing in this world, because I really didn't enjoy it that much with all the stuff that I duped. That's why I don't condone general item duping, because it really ruins the fun of the game. I think all I duped was diamonds, gold, and iron. And I believe gold apples, and I think everything else is legit. It might be cocoa beans. If you see cocoa beans, I'll explain why those were duped. But it looks like I have a lot of decent stuff here. I guess I didn't even take a look at my inventory. What do I got here? I got diamond here. I have my diamond pick. I think this was like one of my original diamond picks. And that's why I also keep a stone pick in, because I do most of my mining with the stone pick. Then I only switched to a diamond one for important things. And I think this is how my inventory was pretty much when I started duping diamonds, and that's why I actually do have a stone pick. I also got my bed for setting my spawn. So I got some diamonds on me, torches, TNT, got some diamond gear, gold apple, a lot of minecarts because I use those. Got my bow and some arrows, a couple redstone things on there, and also my clock. I use my clock quite a bit because when I'm down here I can't really tell what time of the day it is, so then I can like look at my clock and like, okay, it's time to go outside and do stuff. Right here you can see how this door is black right there. That is a really common bug that was in these older versions. Blocks would just turn out looking really dark in weird circumstances. It looks like I had some pretty cool stuff here. I had a chicken farm. My chicken farm was actually right here, I believe. I believe this was where my chicken farm was. I had all my chickens in there, and I had a little hole here. Then they would sit in the water and bob, and then they would lay eggs. I'd come down here and collect them. I had some cake there to eat if I was hungry. Oh yeah. Yes, this is definitely where my chicken farm was. Once again, you know, AFK here and just fill up chests full of stuff. I'm not really sure why I had so many chicken eggs. I suppose I just threw them around for fun and stuff. Eventually I removed them, probably because they were creating so much lag. I probably like hundreds of chickens in there. And I believe there is, okay, there's my rail system. That's for moving mobs. Oh, okay, there's another farm down here. I'll talk about in a bit. But then here's my painting room. When they added paintings to the game, I came here and just pasted a whole bunch of them. I was trying to find all the new ones. I just kept pasting them and breaking them until I got all the ones I thought were in the game at the time. I don't know if I missed any looking back, but I remember just spending like probably a whole hour just trying to get different paintings. And that's the thing, like back then when they came out with the new update, there was nobody telling you like what is new in that update. Like Notch didn't really announce a lot of these changes. They were pretty secretive and people just kind of discovered them. There was really no change logs either. And no one even like thought about looking into the code to try to figure these things out. Over here is part of the rest of the base. Let's go up and actually look at the main kind of part of my base, which is this huge flat area here. That seems to kind of be in the middle of nowhere. Okay, you can see some trees over there. Dude, what is with those clouds? They look so blocky. See, all my dogs. I was super obsessed over dogs when they came out in the game. That was one of the few reasons I even explored, was to go out to a biome where dogs spawned in. Now, the reason why this place is big and massive and green, because back in the day, passive mobs would spawn very frequently, pretty much as fast as hostile mobs. So I made a massive passive mob farm here, and they were just spawning like crazy. And I think right somewhere in the center here, I have an X. If we would remove the grass, we would see this water thing down here. So let's see, okay, how do I operate these ladders in this version? I want to go in here. Can I not go in there? Oh my goodness. Okay, I had the whole space. Yeah, I have this massive plus sign shape, where all the mobs get washed to the center. This was for passive mobs. And I don't think I can fight this water. Oh my goodness, you can't fight water. I'm literally stuck here. I don't want to go in there. Okay, I might have a door to get out. Yes, okay, I do have a door to get out. So this is what would happen. Passive mobs would end up here, and I think there's a killing chamber. I really don't want to fall in the killing chamber. Okay, there's a killing chamber. Can I get across this? Let's see. Can I place down a minecart? Can I place a minecart there? Can I hop in the minecart? Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, how do I leave minecarts? Escape? Yeah, everything's weird back in. Can't shift out. Anyways, control. Push buttons on keyboard so something happens. No, I can't get on my minecart. Sneak is to shift. Or shift is sneak. Oh my goodness, I'm stuck in a minecart. Oh, okay. Now I'm in the ground. Yeah. Totally normal Minecraft. Okay. Okay. That's how I got out of the minecart, I guess. Break the minecart out. That was kind of scary. But yeah, there is crouching in the game, which is really awesome. For the longest time I played in this world, there was no crouching. So you literally, if you want to get up to edge, you would walk back and forth like this. That's how you would get close to an edge, by doing the zigzag thing. Because there's no way to go slow. I also had a lot of fun like building stuff, scaffoldings up in the air without having worry to fall off. Because yeah, crouching, you don't have to worry about falling off. But anyways, mobs that fall down, go this way. Underneath of here, there is cactus and I believe a lava blade. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. So it would like burn them and then also kill them, and then I'd pick up the loot. And I guess the loot go that way. You know, it's been so long since I ran this farm. I really don't know where the loots go. Oh, there's lava. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die. Oh, it's flowing a different direction. Jeez, that is like so scary. Lava there. Oh, I can pick block in this version. Can't use number keys to move stuff into your inventory. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I can't fight water in this version. Wow, that updated fast. I think it was here. Huh, okay. Maybe I just closed it all off because I wasn't using more. I guess the loots came over here. Oh, okay, I broke something. It might have been like some kind of lava that was budded or something. Yeah, I think I updated cactus or something. Broke off. There was some weird tricks back then to make the lava float on top of the cactus. That was the easy way for me to get tons of loot. I also had the staircase over here. So before they added ladders, you had to hop up blocks, and then they eventually added stairs, and then a little bit later they added ladders. So I had stairs here, and then when they added ladders, I put in also a ladder thing. So I have both ladders and stairs, which is weird. But yeah, that's what it's for. I think I kind of got this one coming out here. Nice. Yeah, there's no trapdoors in this version, so I can't place like trapdoors or anything to close it off. But up here is also a place where I did a lot of my experiments. And you can see food doesn't stack, so it's pretty much the only food in the game is pork chops, the main one. You eat raw fish? Fish was added in the game, and I can't remember. Okay, it just vanished. Good to know. Yeah, you can see there's also no hunger bar, because, you know, there's no sprinting in the game yet. So it was the same walking speed. Doesn't matter if you double tap or anything. It's during daytime. You can see how the light all of a sudden abruptly changes. Looks like someone like turned light on or something weird. Oh yeah, there's only two F5 modes. Behind and first person. Yeah, if I right click food, it just vanishes. They used to just heal your hearts. Yeah, you don't need to eat to run or walk or anything like that. Just when you're a little bit hurt. What do we got in here? We got some stuff in here. Got my furnaces for cooking my pork. You can see how, yeah, it doesn't stack. You literally have to take the pork out for the next pork will start cooking. Tons of pork. Yeah, pork was really important to have, but it didn't stack, so it was really cumbersome. And sand collecting was a big deal because I was like super obsessed over TNT. And you'll notice how I have saplings in here as well as oak wood, which back there is just called wood. And the birch wood is also called wood. But that's when birch was just added. So because it was just added, there was no sapling for it. You can see the birch looks a little bit different too. There's like a little bit of ring around here. That looks different. I actually had to go out to get birch. You can see over there, I planted some birch trees. In beta 1.5, they came out with a birch sapling. I remember planting the saplings in my old chunks to make them look like the new areas that have the birch trees. Otherwise, typically it would have been oak by my spawn point. This is often where I would do different experiments with mobs and stuff. I do it all up here on top because there's a nice big clean area to work on. and sometimes use my dogs to help me. Because having a nice flat area was so hard to come by, whenever I would build up any farm or experiment, I would tear it down again. So not many designs or farms have made it through, and even like this sugarcane farm would have eventually been turned back into a nice flat turf. And I would sleep up here because once in a while mobs would somehow get onto my platform. It also gave me a good vantage point of looking around my base. And the reason why I kind of put it way up here in the air is, well, yeah, spiders were added in the game. So spiders were climbing up, and I tried to put my base really, really high off the ground so that they wouldn't get up here to me. But you can see I had a little bit of fun with removing sand from my TNT projects. All this sand around here was completely removed all by hand because, yeah, if you want to make a lot of TNT, it costs a lot of sand. Fences are really messed up too. They're full blocks. Can't get close to them. Over there I was doing some more testing with redstone, and I would like to stay up here during the nights. It's kind of like a cool place where I could actually work during the night out in the open without having to worry about mobs coming after me. And this is where I would like kind of sneak out. Oh yeah, you can see the spaced out ladders. Back in the day, you'd only need ladders every other block to climb them. I wonder, do they still work in this version? Oh, they do! Oh, that's so awesome. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, I'd come out here. I want to do some like fighting with mobs or do some blowing up of mobs with TNT, sneak out at night, and then I could always come back into my fortress here. It's really safe haven. I can easily just stand on the walls and watch mobs and stuff. Because like back then, everybody was like wondering how mobs work, how they spawn and despawn, that kind of stuff. So I could observe them from top of here. You can also see there was something that was there and it's not there. I removed that entire island there as well as all the sand. That was part of my project. I guess we could go over here. Let's take a look at my sand removal. Got a little walking path here. And I don't, oh my goodness. I don't know what's all down here. A lot of wasteland-like stuff. I remember over here, I think I was doing combination locks. I was testing combination locks and how if you, oh yeah, here it is. You have to put in the correct input, otherwise the door doesn't open. Okay, I guess that's secret code. Yeah, there's like some logic back here that make it work. And this, I think this is, looks like 2 memory circuits. Don't know what I was going to use that for. Redstone looks so strange. When it's off, it's like completely black. When it's on, it looks actually relatively similar to how it is nowadays. Except Redstone actually gave off light back in the day. Let's see. If I turn to F3, does it talk about light? No, it doesn't. But you can see one of the weird glitches back then, which is an easy way to find mobs. Essentially, when you press F3, every mob, their little number tag would show up above them. So you can easily see if your base is spawn-proofed or not. So there's some mobs right there. And this was kind of an easy way to spawn-proof my farms. But before this was accidentally added into the game, I had to actually use X-ray mods in order to fix my mob farm. I'll show you guys later. But yeah, if I just crawl, if I just poke through here, it's a big, huge black area. Yeah, you can see like there's a mob right there. Even though you can't really see it very well. They're gonna come over here? I don't know what type of mob it is. Oh, the skeleton. Yeah, he's not very good at aiming. Later on they came. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh. How did, oh, what? There's a hole here. I must have blew this up or something. Yeah, they're not very good at aiming back then. My base pretty much was kind of like that. But I squared it up and I also made this huge wall here so that it's less likely for spiders to reach the top. But with F3, it doesn't seem like it shows too much information. You can see FPS, you can see chunk update, looks like chunks loaded. I believe that is frames. You can also see entity count. There's a total of 211 entities here. Particles, you can also see that. You can also see my X and Y coordinates. It took a while to calculate every time you move. And of course there's like a little lag meter down in the bottom left. The memory, allocated memory. They didn't really tell you too much. They did some useful stuff, especially finding mobs. I don't know if they're bombing water or something. That's pretty funny. This huge area down here was all sand. Removed it all. Let's go around the entire thing. See what it is over here. I know I did some TNT explosion. I think I used TNT to get sand. I can't remember that, which is kind of silly, but I don't know. It was a lot of fun. It was like the funnest way to get sand. On this side, it wasn't as steep. I was trying to kind of separate my base from this main island over here. You can see I've been digging all this out, and that must have been sometime I was really scared and I was trying to get back to my base. And down this side looks like I lit it up pretty well. Let's hurry walk around this before it turns dark out. Back when I made this world is when they added in ores as well as caves. So I do have caves and ores in this world, but I'm pretty sure dungeons was somewhat recent because I remember dungeons coming out, and I know I found some in my world, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. We can go and visit some of them. But yeah, all this was removed, and let's see, that's back to the side we were on. It gets dark fast. I mean, you can see how it just completely switching to like different shades. Here's what looks like a dark. Even these lights really don't put out that much light. Maybe I didn't do a perfect job at lighting this up. Maybe that's how mobs got up here. Let's see if we can watch the mobs spawn in. That's a crazy looking sunset. There's a moon rising. Sun's going down. It's getting darker still. Stars are coming out. Sun's about gone. Got any mobs spawning? You hear the zombies underneath of us. They're like so noisy in this version. It almost becomes so dark you can't even see out there. Oh, the stars are all out now. I don't see any mobs. They might all spawned inside my mob farm. Oh yeah, I can see some spiders way off there on the island, that sand island over there. They're spawning in and also despawning. Let's go over here. You can see when they added in sugarcane, I was really excited. I made this little sugarcane farm here. And when sugarcane was first added in, it was just called a reed. And they changed it so it's sugarcane. And then they made it so you could actually make sugar out of it. But before it was pretty much just used for books. Because like when I started this world, it was infinite and then it moved on to alpha. And then only recently here in beta or beta did the version get a bunch of new stuff. A lot of the new stuff from beta, I really didn't play around too much in this world, or even some of the later alpha stuff. Because I remember when beds were added, I kind of came back to this world. And I was so excited to use beds because one of the reasons why I actually chose this world was because I wanted a spawn location that was kind of close by the area where I wanted to build. Spawn location's over there. Because there was no beds, if you died, you had to walk from your spawn all the way to where you died to pick up your stuff. I wanted to be kind of close because I died quite a bit. But when beds came out, it completely changed that. You can not only skip the night, but you could also reset your spawn so you could come back here after you died instead of end up way over there. So they were a huge game changer. I really didn't have to need this whole entire fort to work during the nighttime. I could just skipped it. Yeah, skeleton spawn right there. You can see some pillars out in the water. That marks my mob farm. I was trying to kind of keep my mob farm away from other places where mobs could spawn. And at one time I had all this lit up, like I had underneath here lit up and stuff, but over time as I changed my base, areas become unlit and I tear out blocks and stuff. I think I went underneath here to steal some sand, but I think that marks maybe 4 corners of the mob farm. And I built an ocean so that mobs wouldn't spawn when you're at it, around the area around it. There's also no blocks above it to increasing mob spawn. It's kind of funny, all the stuff we kind of do nowadays in Minecraft, I was doing way back in the InfDev days. And oh, I kind of remember why I had this rail system. So this rail system was actually get one of my pet slimes all the way up here. So when slimes were added into the game, they were extremely frequent. So I had a bunch of them up here as pets. Then they nerfed them, so they were super rare. Let's take a look at my slime place. Actually got a pet slime and brought him with my rail system all the way up here, and so he could follow me and hop around because they didn't do any damage to you. They're great for pushing minecarts. Because they would try to attack you, they would come towards you while you're on your minecart. And then every time they come towards you, they just keep pushing you. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I move them here and then send them all the way up there. Well, before we go over to our slime spot, is there anything here I should grab? Hopefully I have everything I need. Maybe I'll grab a saddle. Okay, let's go. We should be able to ride it this direction. Should be downhill. Oh yeah, you can't just push forward to get started. I mean, you can't leave the minecart either. And you always fall on the ground. There's all sorts of good things. You can't control drop items. You have to drop them one at a time. So we have to place it on this incline and hurry click on it. Whee! Right in the minecart. I remember there was some like lava over here. I remember closing this all off so that mobs wouldn't get to me. Like a cave. I'm going back down. Minecart really don't make any noises. Yeah, this is the part where... Ooh, if I get off this, am I going to fall into the lava underneath? Or can I... Oh, wait. I just right click to get out of minecart? No, if I right click, I don't get out of minecart, but if I right click against this torch. But that is strange. But it's Minecraft back in the beta days, so why not? Oh, I think I remember kind of what I had down here. I had another booster system here because my other booster system couldn't go the whole way. So I had to open this whole area up to make another booster system that would boost me up this big, huge incline here. And depending on how many minecarts you had in your booster system, it could boost you farther. But I think I had like a bunch of them right here, maybe 10 or so, and shoot me straight up there. That's why this is not open. You can tell baby zombies weren't a thing back then. Like, had no concern to cover up the entire hole. I'm just like, whatever. Let's keep going down into underneath in my base. And I think we'll take a look at the slime. And then we'll probably come back and take a look at this massive mob farm. I just noticed that this rail system is inside of the bedrock. What the heck? I'm guessing because there's water right above this. And you could tell every block that I removed because they're all cobble. I don't know if you can even make stone back in this version. Yeah, let's try it. Can we make stone blocks? Oh, we can. Okay. I must have just been lazy. Hey, you can cut stacks in half too with right-click in this version. That's nice. Yay, you can make stone. Cool. I must have just not cared because everything is cobble, even the holes. We're back here in center, so we go this direction. I think this is also a booster system. I gotta switch here to choose which way I want to get boosted, that way or this way. This way should take us out of the mob farm. Oh, we can actually look inside of it. Hey! Wow! Yes, I remember this. This was so much testing to figure out what was the best way to sort out spiders and stuff. And also kill mobs without their loot getting destroyed by the lava. It was a massive pain. But you can hear spiders above me. And that's because spiders in this version are attracted to player through blocks, I think. So they're like all above me, and that's when I had to use the x-ray so I could see what was going on with the spiders up there. Who knew what they're going on? Oh yeah, and then I had this this view room. Because obviously you want your farms to be dark, I couldn't put lights too close to the entrance here. So I'd have this dark room, which was kind of scary. These mobs could spawn in here, but I could come in here and watch them. There's a creeper in there, spiders, these skeletons. And this was like so much fun back in the day just to watch mobs get in there get destroyed. Oh, you can see their bows? They're holding their bows like it's an item rather than like actual tool. That is so funny. They're just like holding their bow and then shooting it. Yeah, I remember so many hours I'd spent here just watching mobs come in and get destroyed. Finally I could give payback to all those mobs. I don't know, earlier I couldn't open this door when I was standing in the same block of it. Now I can. It's beta 1.4 Minecraft. We're not going to complain too much. We're back here, a rail system. We go this direction. I remember this part. This is one of the entrances into my mob farm. So back in the day, over here would be steps carved out of the stone. You had to hop up them like this in order to get out. And then they added minecarts and rails. So then on this side, I put rails to get out or in. Then they eventually added stairs in the game. Oh my goodness. I remember first thing I did, I came over here, added stairs to this area because it was so annoying to climb up all these big clunky steps. Like these big clunky steps. You had to jump all these up all the way to get out of this whole place. And stairs were so nice. I have no clue what that is. That looks like a glitched out lever. It looks kind of funny. Can I take screenshots in this version? Oh, I can. It might have been part of my booster system back in the day. These levers here go to my mob farm. Turning lights on and off in my mob farm. I'll show you guys that later. Oh, maybe the lever was actually to go this way. So I could choose if I wanted to go up to the surface or if I wanted to go around the outside of my mob farm. I really don't remember putting it in this rail. We'll take a look at that in a bit. Go up here. Oh yeah, let's take the stairs. That's so nice. I have to go this direction. Okay. Probably doing some experiments. Oh yeah. We're going to the dark area, guys. Wait. Oh my goodness, no, this doesn't take us up. This is my viewing platform to view the mob farm. Oh, okay, we'll come back to that. That's pretty cool. Let's go back to the surface though. I want to show you guys where my spawn point is. Hey, there's a redstone over there. So to get to the surface, I must have to go. It must be this rail. Okay, so this rail goes out. You can see the old repeaters back in the day. That's how I made repeaters. Putting redstone dust into this torch, then which would go back into another torch, and just pretty much 2 torches in a row. And that was a way to continue signals while still keeping the power the same. Okay, so that rail system goes there. That goes that way. See, the farm's pretty big. I think this one goes to the surface. Oh, another booster. I think there's 2 boosters here. You hear it, guys? Listen. Yes. You hear it? Slime! Slime! Yes! Oh my goodness, guys. So when they added slime into the game, it was so cool. I mean, like, I spent hours and hours, like, collecting slime and playing with them. So I found out slimes were spawning here. Must have been a slime chunk. And yeah, I had this whole system set up here to catch babies. So I would, like, go over here, get these slimes to be small. And this must have been a slime chunk because they were spawning down crazy. Oh, okay, I guess they don't make babies in this one. So maybe I had to find them as babies. And I would get them inside the minecarts. Then I would send them up to my base. because they were so cool. Like little guys hopping around, they wouldn't hurt you. This area was a slime chunk. What level is this? 12. So it's right above the lava. Of course, yeah, that's lava there. Just a cave, it looks like, that I lit up. But of course, slimes can spawn in lit areas. That's pretty cool to run across this. When they did add slimes, they were super popular. Like, I mean, they would spawn just like any other hostile mob in amounts. But then shortly after, they nerfed it. That's where this area became so special. Let's go ahead and close that off so the guys don't escape again. It looks like I might also have some power rails here. Oh, here's my... Oh, okay. We will, what do you want to look at? I guess we'll look at the slime thing. So what I did is I found out they're spawning down here. I made this crazy staircase to transport them. Yeah, I had this thing here so big ones couldn't get by. I transport all the slimes up. Oh my gosh, you don't know. You don't get how much work this was. I want to get the slimes on the surface because they were so cool. I wanted to make a big, huge amusement park or like petting zoo with them. So I made this really big so I could get big ones up here too if I wanted to. I had like all these little, oh yeah, there's my, yep, there it is. That's the way I get down. I had this system so I can get easily up and down, but of course the slimes couldn't take my nice little system there. So I had to make this massive curly staircase to get them all the way up. I think I had power rails here one time. Maybe I was trying to transport them with rails towards the end. Maybe I was transporting rails. I'm pretty sure I remember them manually hopping up here and having to get them up every single corner was a pain. Oh, okay, it's dark out. Let's see if we can sleep. Sleep in it. Ah, okay. I slept. Go away. Go away. I slept. I didn't go away. Was there mobs that scared me? There's mobs nearby. It'll just kick you out of bed. Won't even tell you why. There you go. There might have been mobs nearby. Oh, you can see that weird animation, like when you break something, the bed would turn light red. There's only some cracking stuff on the edge. Weird stuff back in the day. So yeah, this was where I had a lot of fun with the slime mobs. I get the big ones going this way. All these fences and way to escape them. Planks. This is where I was talking about how the shifting came in huge because shifting allowed me to make this like, this is like my observing thing where I come here and observe all my slimes just roaming this kind of like pasture thing I made for them. You see I fenced it all off so they can't escape. At least back then they couldn't jump that high because I know they never cleared that fence. And I would get them over here. I think what I would do is actually stand on top of this. So I think I'd get them up to this level here somehow. And then I would climb over here and get up here. And then I would stand up here to lure them around the corners so it's a lot safer. Yeah, definitely didn't escape this because I remember none of this, like nowadays mobs would figure out how to get around that. They wouldn't be able to figure it out back in the day. I'd stand here to kind of like make them go different areas and eventually get them to go all the way up here. That was something. And then they're just, follow you everywhere. They just loved you. And that's where shifting came in nice because I could shift along here to build this and place in blocks. And before it was just constantly falling down and came back up again over and over again. That was my slime ranch, I guess you could call it. This was something I did towards the end of my world because slimes weren't added until later in InfDev. So I remember that was kind of my longer term project was that thing there. And this, I remember this system. This is something where I started expanding my base to a new area. You can see some cactus over there. There's some new chunks over there. Back in the day, I think I might have my render distance like super small because I really didn't load any new stuff. Like just walking a few blocks, I would end up loading new stuff. You could probably guess where this goes just by looking over there. See all those dogs? So when dogs were added, it was obviously a really cool thing to get dogs. So I had to go to a new area where they would spawn in. And that direction was where I found dogs. And I got tons and tons of dogs. I don't know if you could even breed them back then. I wonder, can I feed you guys? I think I just ate it myself. Whoop, there went my food. Everything was pretty basic and plain. You can see it's just mostly grass. There is some flowers, some water. It's mostly just hills with trees on them. And there were some like sandy areas. I don't know if they were salty beaches or what, but they weren't actual deserts. I think that's actually a real desert. I don't think I've ever actually seen that desert in my world before. I remember when cactuses came out, and I think to get them, I actually went that direction. If I remember correctly. I went on the other side of my base to get them. That's also where I went to get birch trees. Oh my goodness, look at this. So why is there a TNT sitting up here? Yeah, if you're an older player of Minecraft, you know that you can't actually remove TNT back in the old days. If you try to right click it, or punch it or break it or try to do anything to remove the TNT after placing it, it would just immediately ignite, or the fuse would go down and then it would blow up. And I remember putting TNT here. I think I'm marking dungeon underneath there. I think that's what I did. I dug up and marked it. That used to be the way I used to mark my dungeons. Well, not with TNT, but by putting blocks above them. But because I accidentally placed a TNT, I couldn't remove it without it blowing up. Now I think they might have changed that by the time this version came out. Let's go ahead and try it. We'll put some TNT over here. And let's see if we can break it. Nope. It's still in this version. I tried left clicking it and that's what happened. Yep. Oh, it looks like you almost get all the blocks back from the TNT. Sure didn't lose very many blocks here. Let's see, what if I would, you can't shift click. Okay, what if I would place it and then right click it? Right click does nothing, okay. And now redstone works. Okay. I don't know, I just loved TNT back in the day. You can see I had a whole stack of inventory. Like at any moment, I just plop it down and have some fun with it. That's pretty cool. So that is why the TNT is still sitting there. And I don't know what that thing's marking. I think that might just be marking, either marking another dungeon or it might be just marking this rail system. This is actually a new area. I remember thinking I could go over the mountain, but I think there was like a partial cave here, so I decided to go through the mountain. I don't know why I did not like this up. This took me into a new area. You know, I really didn't have to go that far to get to a new area, but it's actually a little farther than this. Let's keep going. You can see the rail system. I believed I also mined some trees. Well, I mean, back then the trees weren't too thick, but I do think I cleared out some trees here. I think I had a lot of fun with burning them down. Now, there was a version where they accidentally, when they added in like fire spread, they made it way too powerful. I remember other worlds that I'd play with my siblings, there'd be like a whole forest, and if the trees were close enough so they can like almost touch each other, you could literally like start a fire on one side, and within 10 seconds, it would remove the whole thing. It was insane. I mean, at least that's what it felt like back in the day. It was so awesome. I remember it just like destroying whole forests with a single fire. But then like the next version, they fixed it. So there you go. They're fixing bugs. Fixing those bugs that we have so much fun with. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a new area. I guess, yeah. I must have been playing on such a low render distance. Of course, we had like really crappy computers back then. I must have been playing like a 2 render distance. I felt like this was like forever. I had to make a whole minecart system just to get out here, get new dogs, and then bring them back. And that's the thing, back then when new stuff came out, they kind of just threw it into the versions. They didn't really make it a nice way to convert. So it's not like nowadays where if you get a new biome, it's not going to exist in your old world. If you get a new biome, this old version, they just slap it down on top of wherever they want to. And I think I have an example of that over there, where I have like snow that just started snowing in a random biome. They weren't really considerate of people playing old worlds. It was very, very common for people to just keep restarting a world every time there's a new version. That's probably one of the reasons why I left this world. I mean, I didn't like destroy it, but I kind of left this world to play on different worlds. Updates weren't meant to kind of be compatible with older versions. Let's see what I got here. Oh yeah, I got a bunch of random stuff. Everything really used to probably work with the dogs. Tamed with bones. That's how it is in Minecraft now too. And then of course, nowadays you feed them food to heal them. Man, it's been so long since I worked with dogs. Fishing rods also came out. I remember when fishing rods came out, they were stackable. This is before durability. So there was no durability on tools way back in the day. Because of that, they're essentially just like an item and you could stack them. So you could have a whole bunch of stack of stuff. And then they later removed it so nothing can be stacked except for fishing rods. And for the longest time, I don't think they had durability, and they eventually gave them durability so they couldn't be stacked. I don't know if I can find any unstacked fishing rods in my world. And it's turning night again. Let's see, let's walk around this area a little bit. I think I just removed trees so I could find wolves that spawned in. I can't remember if they must have spawned in. I don't think they naturally generated. I don't know why else would I remove all the trees on top of this hill. And I can't remember if I grew that tree there or left it. It looks like majority of trees are actually removed. Oh, I can sleep. Okay. Hey, there. Yep, you can see here's another booster rail. Yeah, that's what I did for booster rails. You just had a whole bunch of minecarts going in a circle, and then you put in your minecart along the edge of it, and it would either push you this way or this way. Either way, it didn't really matter because I think it all pretty much ended up going that way. Are we ready to leave? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about skeletons. So yeah, when they first added skeletons, they just dropped arrows. And then later on, they added bones and bone meal, and that was so revolutionary in Minecraft. I mean, I remember like just spending hours and hours trying to make a really good skeleton dungeon farm that would collect bones, because now bones are actually useful. You know, you can use them for dogs, you can use them for crops, to make bone meal. It was like the biggest thing. It was like elytras coming out in Minecraft. It was so massive. Because typically like grinding for mob drops, I mean the only thing I really did with mob drops was the gunpowder to make TNT. And now you could do something really cool with it. I think I have a skeleton dungeon over that direction if I remember correctly. I don't know how I remember any of this stuff. Oh yeah. So another thing is if minecarts bump into entities, they just stop. So yeah, we can't let it bump into anything. Okay, that wasn't much of a push. I think if I right click with nothing in my hand, or right click on the minecart, okay, there. Oh, you can see that Z fighting. Look at the Z fighting, guys. Let's walk back. This time I'm gonna walk over the mountain. I don't know why I went through the mountain. It must have been like a partial cave. Oh wow, that actually looks really cool. That looks really cool. Let's see. There is F1 in this version. I can take a screenshot. Huh. Okay, that's probably why I made a hole through it, because it looks so epic. Almost like it's made for it. I'm pretty sure I did not terraform that. Yeah, you can say I had fun with fire. That's some stumps behind. Keep going. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to go through that mountain. Especially with the... I might actually TNT this. That makes a lot of sense. If I TNT this, and that's why it looks kind of rugged. Let's go check out our dogs. Can I right click these? I think you have to have empty hand to do like anything in this version. No. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dogs would attack, your own dogs would attack you. Actually, they might not be my dogs, because I might have been playing on a different account. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they might not be my dogs. That's so funny. This just happen all the time. So in my base over there in the green spot, I used to have all the dogs there. And then if like the slime would hit me or something, dogs would try to come to protect me, and they'd end up like killing my testing stuff. So I think I had to make a pin or something. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, they'll actually hop to chase after you. That's so funny. Yeah, I think it's just because I'm on a different account and then when I made the dogs. And that's where your food comes in. So if you can put your food inventory, right click it. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, let's keep moving. There's my slime spot. Let's go back down. Oh my goodness. This is how... that is so crazy how I got in there. Oh, there's a boat. There's definitely boats in this version. Let's go down this and then made weird noise. Then we'll hook up with the system that goes the other direction. Let's take the fast route, not the slime route. Oh, so here's all this. Oh my goodness, mossy stone. Oh my god, mossy stone was the coolest thing to have back in the day. I used to raid dungeon after dungeon just so I could have some mossy stone. I don't think I even built anything with it. I think I just collected it. It was so cool. Let's take a boat with us too. The boats look so weird back then. Okay, let's go down our really messed up ladder. I don't look quite lit up. Oh! There was actually these stone back then? Maybe that came later and added it. There's a underwater thingy. The gravel looks strange. I actually like that look of the gravel better than the current. Oh yeah, because chests were full blocks, you could place like rails and stuff on top of it. You can see also the chests don't like have a animation, the lid opening or anything. It's super compact. Oh, you see slime balls. So yeah, slime balls were completely useless back in the day. No pistons in this version. There's no slime blocks. Those weren't added to way later. No normal pistons, no sticky pistons. Collecting slime balls is just something you did for fun. Just kind of crazy. You can see, look at that. The item shows up behind these items. The blocks they show up behind and the other ones they don't. That is strange. I remember people kind of using them as like currency because they were so unique. I must have been saving them up there. That's kind of strange. Items just look so strange back in the day. Like here's sugar cane, right? It's actually called sugar canes with the S. See, if you just have one of them, is it still called sugar canes? Yeah, sugar canes. So this rail system, let's find the rail system that goes the other direction. Maybe it's this way. Oh, this is the way. Is it? Hopefully it is. Oh, this is not how I remember it. What did I do here? What's going on? What's behind this? Apparently mobs are spawning here and I didn't like it or something. What? Look at that lava. I seen it earlier, but that looks just strange. Why did I? Oh, okay. I think this was where I originally found slimes. Okay. I originally found them in here. Eventually found a better spot. Okay, that's what it was. That's weird. Where's my... I used to have like a main way to walk out of my my mob farm area here. I'm pretty sure it was that one, but maybe I covered it up. Back in the day, it was really important for me to get from spawn all the way back to my mob farm. But with the beds, it wasn't so important, so maybe I just completely covered it up. Oh, we'll just walk along the coast. Maybe we'll take a boat over there. You can see some places that have solid ladder and some places have spaced out ladders. That's funny. There is a marker. I can't remember what that is marking. That's probably dungeon. I think those 4 pillars are the edges of my mob farm. I think I actually went down through them to actually see where the edges are. And I removed all the sand here too. I actually remember removing the sand. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'm actually running out of sand. I had to steal it from this shore here. That was a lot of fun. I think I went that direction quite a bit. Bring back so many good memories. Let's take a boat. Keep on using my number keys. Wow. That boat looks so strange. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's turning night. If I push forward, I think you just push forward in this version. Let's see, I think my spawn is just over here somewhere. Not that far. I think this is where it's at. Actually, I have no clue. Uh-oh, how do I get out of the boat? Right click it? Okay. Let's sleep so we can see some stuff. My boat's just floating away. That's a weird thing. Back in the day, the boats just, you could bump them and they would just move like forever. It's so annoying. I actually remember trying to figure out a way to contain boats. So I went online trying to figure out how people contain their boats. I actually came across a video showing that you can place like doors in the water and you could open and close them and boats could go through them and kind of prevent the boat from escaping. And only years later did I find out that the person who made that video was actually ethoslab. That's kind of funny. That was actually one of his first videos too. So kind of strange how I came across that before he probably was even well known. And of course boats break. So I think it's over here. Okay. Yeah, so I think I made this path here. I'm surprised I don't have a way. We can go back and try to figure it out. Well, this was the main way I used to get back to my base after I would die, and that's why I kind of made it all flat and stuff, and I tried to block off these caves so I could easily move, because I mean, you only move at like 1 speed, so you want to make it as efficient as possible. So I would move from somewhere around here I spawned, then I'd run over to my base where I would die. I do that quite a bit. I remember this place was just horrible. I don't know if I TNT'd or something. It was completely nasty. Oh, what? There's a chest here? Oh, you can't open it because I need to remove this. Okay, maybe that's just some basic stuff I had. In case I died, I can come here. There's a crafting table, a furnace. Actually, might be some of my first stuff I just placed there. If I remember correctly, there's like a dungeon over here. Wow, I left floating trees. I think there's a dungeon over here somewhere. Oh yeah, I was talking about snow. In the newer versions, when I was updating my worlds through like InfDev and Alpha and eventually Beta, at some point they added in like these snowy biomes, and I don't know if I actually changed the biome. I guess there's no, do they show biome? No, they don't even show biome. I'm guessing this is like a different biome. I had no clue how it worked. I think it was only snowy for like a little bit, and then I updated again and it wasn't snowy, but I was collecting snowballs up here. This is where I'd go to collect snowballs. And that's the thing, like I said, they don't really care about versions, if they're compatible or not. They just like would throw stuff into your world, and the next time you load up, you'd be like, oh my goodness, my mountain's now a snowy mountain. Looks like that one's snowy. That was all snowy at one time. Really strange. There's a crafting table over there. Yeah, it's definitely just get added into your world without even you knowing about it. I remember, I think it's, yeah, there's some holes in here. I think there's actually a dungeon over here somewhere. Let's see, is this it? What the heck is this? Oh, weird. Okay, this looks really cool though. And it's kind of strange because back in the day, before there was even like minecarts, the biggest, coolest thing about Minecraft was the water physics, because the water was like something that moved stuff. Or you even had like minecarts or pistons or anything like that. That was the thing to take advantage of. Of course, as I got minecarts into my world, then I started switching over to that. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this dungeon. Let's find a dungeon that I actually kind of remember. I remember there being a spider dungeon in the corner of my mob farm. And I did later have X-ray on my world, so I could like look down and see dungeons. That was for a really good reason. Because when they added dungeons, they had golden apples in them, but they were super, super rare to find. And golden apples was like the god food. And I wanted one, because I wanted to eventually dupe it so I could get more of them, infinite amounts of them. And it was like pretty much impossible to find dungeons back in the day. So I had X-ray looking downwards, trying to find dungeons to hopefully find a gold apple. I remember spending like weeks and weeks just traveling in huge straight lines looking for dungeons. That's how I ended up with so much mossy stone, is because of that. I think there used to be an entrance here that goes into my base. There used to just be some stairs I had to hop down, and I might actually poked through something there. That's why I covered up with cobble. Those streaks in the water look so strange. Okay, apparently I didn't care about how ugly it looked. I just wanted the sand, so I just massacred this whole coast. Then there's a sand pillar over there. I wonder if there's a dungeon underneath of that. Maybe we could just dig down. It is kind of the corner of it. Actually, there might be a dungeon there too. I marked it with torches. I try and mark dungeons because they were like the coolest thing. I mean, think about it. In this world, how many special structures are there in this world? There's only one. It's dungeons. So dungeons are the coolest thing. There's no villagers, no witches, there's no nether, there's no end dimension. So yeah, marking them was a big deal. Let's just dig down and we'll see what's underneath of here. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, maybe it was just marking a cave. In one of these versions, they added physics for sand, so sand actually falls. Kind of cool. Oh, let's see, what is down here? Maybe I was just marking a cave. I wanted to light all caves up so mobs wouldn't spawn in it. I don't think I did a very good job at lighting. I was like, getting plenty of mobs in a mob farm, don't worry about it. Oh my goodness, what in the world was I doing down here? I don't know what I was doing. I mean, caves back then were so strange. Like, this is probably a chunk border here. You can see it just got completely sliced. Who knows, it might have been a new generation. Like I said, it's probably playing on like 2 render distance. Pretty much how everybody played back in the day because nobody could handle Minecraft. Maybe an update and it cut it or something. The caves were really messed up back in the day. They were like cut up in random spots and thrown about. Wait, what is this? Wait, there's redstone here? Does this go into my build? Let's check this out. Oh, yeah, this is... Okay, this goes back into my mob farm. Pretty sure the dungeon right here. This is, let's see, which direction? Oh my goodness, I forgot how you could tell directions in this version. Let's just dig into it. See, yeah, I remember this. I remember filling this in because the mob farm's over there. And I remember the dungeon around here somewhere. Man, the walking sound on gravel and dirt, it sounds like something else walking in the distance. Pretty sure it's a spider dungeon. Pretty sure it's in this corner here. Oh, I think I found it, guys. It is a spider dungeon. And I looted the chest. And I stole all the mossy. Man, how do I remember this stuff from so many years ago? That's crazy. Like, I can't remember people's names from only a couple of days ago. And here I can remember this. Oh my goodness. How could I do that, guys? How could I leave one mossy in there? That is a crime. There's no way to craft up mossy in this version. It wasn't added until like way later. Can't believe I left that in there. Of course, after looting tons and tons of dungeons, probably wasn't such a big deal. But yeah, I mean, people would make like mob farms out of this and stuff, but it's kind of slow compared to my big massive mob farm that took months and months to make. I remember mining the whole thing out with not a diamond pickaxe, but with actually a gold pickaxe, because gold are faster than diamond, and this version has no enchantments or potions or anything like that. There's no use for gold. Gold is completely, absolutely useless in this version, but it mines super fast, so why not use it? That's exactly what I did. So everything was mined with gold, except when it came to ores, and that's what I had the diamond one for. Okay, we made it back to the mob farm. Let's take a look at this bad boy. So you can see all this redstone here, and let's go ahead and flick the switch. Oh, there it goes. That's actually pretty fast for going all the way around this entire thing. Okay, so that should turn on the lights. Let's go to our observatory, I guess you call it. Let's go check her out. If we hop down here, you can check out the mob farm way back in the day. Oh, it's still so dark in here. Wow, look at that, guys. This thing is massive. This thing is so huge. Took forever to dig out. Without any enchantments, such primitive tools and items back in the day. See, the redstone torches really don't put off that much light. But then again, guys, that's all we had. We didn't have pistons, we didn't have redstone lamps. The only on and off light source we had was redstone torches. Just a measly little bit of light around the edges. And you can see this is a massive platform. And all the platforms are slowly sloping downwards. We don't have ender pearls in this version, so I can't even pearl over there. Maybe I should find a door we can get in there. I could just make a door. But this is where I use a stand. So I can watch the mobs come in. It was so much fun just to sit here and watch them come in. Obviously this is not ideal because you're kind of close and they don't spawn in. But I mean, if you want to collect the loot, you kind of have to be close. Like my AFK spot's just over there. So I lose spawning spaces because of it. But you also need to pick up stuff. I mean, I can AFK above it, of the farm too. But you know, items despawn in 5 minutes, so we have to come back anyways. Dang, it was so much work to carve this out. I remember carving the whole flat thing in, and I carved in all these steps. I think I came here later, put these slabs in, trying to help with pathfinding and making sure stuff would fall into the water. It was so fun just to stand here and watch these guys go into the collection system. Now this isn't actually the first mob farm that I built. I built quite a few mob farms. Oh yeah, back in the day you could do this. You could actually jump up onto a ladder because your head's very grippy. But yeah, I actually built quite a few mobs farms before this. Like, so this is not actually my first world. It's probably like the 50th world I did. One of the very first mob farms that I did was where I found kind of a natural cave that sloped downwards into the ground, connected like a bunch of caves together and put water in it. And mobs would just naturally spawn in the cave, would fall into the water and slowly get swept down. The water went through the whole entire cave to the very bottom of the world, and it kind of collected all the mobs from all the caves. Now, there was some other ones that were even more basic than that. Like back in the day, mobs would pretty much just walk anywhere. So you could just make a hole in the ground at night and stand in like a tower and they would fall into it. Let's see, can we go in here? Yeah, mobs farms changed quite a bit over the years. What? Okay, I had some water here. Okay, I'm gonna leave that open so I can find my way out again. Yeah, so there was no ice back then, so every single water had to be scooped up with buckets. There was actually no bucket in the early days. I remember when they added them, we could eventually move water. Otherwise, you'd have to find natural water. I think that's what I did with that my old one. That's why it was kind of weird. It was like with a cave. Because I think I just started, yeah, I remember it. So I started on the surface of this island, and then I broke a hole so the water can move all the way down through the caves. Because there was no buckets back then to actually move water. If I press F, I can change the fog. Let's see. Okay, there. I can see a little bit better. These creepers, they don't want to go down. They're coming after me. So that water is still there from the build of this. Redstone torches help a little bit. And those creepers are actually following me. How are the creepers able to hop against the water, but I'm not able to? So you can see this whole thing is a big, huge slope downwards because the water here has to make it all the way to the bottom. And I think I made this before there was signs or any way to kind of like repeat the water pattern. Like nowadays, there's a lot of different things you can use to keep the water all at the same Y level, but back then there wasn't, so we had to use this gravity in order to make it slope. Hey spiders, are you mad at me? Oh, you are. Why are you looking downwards? Wow, apparently my sword's really strong. So I remember cutting this flat, pretty much flat with this. You can see I did leave in obsidian because obsidian was so annoying to remove. Then down here, I think this is pretty basic. This is all kind of flat down here. Hey spider, get pulled by the water. Looks like it went with 3 wide waters. And mobs would just normally just walk off. Oh, shoot. He's coming after me. Oh my goodness, the creeper actually got out of the water. I was actually get out of this system. I didn't make it like super deep or anything like that. Go back in the water, creeper. Dude, that's so scary the way he bounced like that. I want to look at the center, but there's mobs in there and these guys are just, they're like, you can just hop out of the water whenever they want to. And it looks like maybe, I think back then your armor gave you armor points compared to how much damage it was. So you can see it's kind of damaged, so I actually get less armor points because it's damaged. Kind of remember that, and funny they didn't actually bring that back because that's kind of cool. Like if your armor is down low, you can see I'm only like half full of bars even though I have full diamond on. Here you can see the center of it. Get out of here, spider. Center of it had a bunch of cactus. I think I put this stuff in later. All this slab stuff I put in later. Tried to fix it up to prevent spiders from escaping. I think the big thing was about spiders. That was my huge problem. Spiders. It just got everywhere and it hung up everything and caused problems. Yeah, everything just washes to the center. Oh yeah, I think the cactus is actually full block. So if you're even beside it, you take damage from the cactus. Yeah, you can see they're taking damage from it. But yeah, the water just washes them to the center. And there's that lava blade we looked at, as well as cactus to kill any of the big guys. This farm pretty much provided me with infinite gunpowder, so I can make all that amazing TNT and do all my experiments. And of course, later also produce bones when bones were added from skeletons and bone meal. Now the bone meal situation became important because they added a new food into the game, and this was cookies. I don't know if I have any cookies in my world, but that was the biggest reason for me actually going out and exploring for dungeons. Because when cookies were added into the game, they were the only food that could stack. If you want to do long adventures and stuff, you need to have a lot of food. So you would pretty much want to have cookies because they could stack to 64 where everything was stacked to 1. And when cocoa beans were added into dungeons, Meta had to go on a huge exploration again just to find a dungeon that had a chest that had cocoa beans because they were also rare. Of course, once I got cocoa beans, I think I just duped them to get more. That was the best food source in the game. In the crafting recipe, I think cocoa beans is like wheat with cocoa, and that's why bone meal is nice to make wheat. I don't know if I actually have any wheat farm near my base here. Let's take a look at this side. Yeah, on this side you can also see some blocks I left in the ceiling. Can't really even spam click on this version unless you're aiming at a mob. But yeah, there's some knobs there I left. I don't know why I left those in. You can see zombies can't see too far. There's a zombie right there. Okay, now he sees me. Hey zombie, walk around. Okay. Their pathfinding wasn't very good back then. Now repeaters were added into the game, and I remember doing some experiments with them, but I don't think I ever came here or updated this farm. Now that I think about it, I think these levers were kind of bulky and big I think they also got glitched out because maybe in the next version when I had the power rails, they looked a lot different, so then they glitched out or something. Cause I mean, yeah, this one looks normal. This one looks glitched out. Let's see what happens if I flick it. What the heck? I kind of do remember them being bulky like this. There's a lever over here that's weird. And getting back to like the exploring thing, my world was like really huge for the back in the day, and that was because I had to explore those dungeons in order to get those rare items. And every time something new would come out, like, hey, let's make it, the only way you can find it is through this dungeon. So I had to go out and find more dungeons, and eventually the world gets just massive. I know I ran across a lot of diamonds, gold, redstone while digging this out, but I do remember every time I got gold, I already smelted up and used it for the project. Okay, so that's where we were last time. We were looking at this redstone here. Let's climb back up here, up to my tower base. I did play in this world the majority in InfDev, I think in early alpha. And in the later times, I just come on here once in a while to check out new updates. That's why I have like the Cake inventory and some redstone stuff. I think I was making repeaters. I remember when they added cows, you can get leather from them, and then you can milk them. And when they added where cows can be milked, you could also, that allowed us to make, of course, the cake. And then later on, they added in squid. And that was in one of these beta versions. And I remember when they added squid, you can milk them just like a cow, which was like the funniest thing ever. But the reason why I was kind of playing Survival World single player, because there was actually no multiplayer for survival worlds back then. The fire just got started on there. Fire from the lava over there must have got the top of the chest on fire. But getting back to why I kind of stopped playing in this world is because when they did eventually add survival mode into multiplayer, it was a lot more fun to go in there and play with other people rather than playing in single player. Hey, you can see the spider wall is kind of working. I didn't really play as much in this world. It was more challenging, of course, to play with other people and do stuff together. But there was also some downsides to playing multiplayer, because a lot of times you would play on a server and all of a sudden, like, the server might just not exist the next day. The servers were so sketchy back then. Or one day it might be like playing a survival world, all of a sudden they change it. They might change out the whole map, or they might change, start adding mods. Remember later on, I played on Zombie Nation. If you guys played back in the day, you might remember Zombie Nation. I mean, it was pretty much like an anarchy server back in the day, but every server was anarchy back in the day because there was no like mods or plugins to stop people from griefing. But as they went along, they started adding like in different commands, like TP commands, and then they eventually added in like those MMORPG kind of stuff. There was like stats and stuff like that. So even on a server like Zombie Nation, which I played a lot on, eventually just decided to like add mods. Because of that, you just never know what's going to happen to your server, so it's always nice to come back to like a single player world. Now over there I do see a desert, and I pretty much remember having to go that direction to find a desert. I think that's also where I got my first cactus when they came out. Everything seemed so much smaller back then. I think it was with the render distance. Like, I definitely could not seen that back in the day. I remember that was like a journey to find that. I think everything felt like a journey because everybody was playing like on 2 render distance. There's a hole over there in the ocean. Let's go check that out. Now, finding exposed dungeons is definitely a common thing back here in the day. Are you still mad at me? Well, now you are. Let's see. Can we go over to that? I lost my boat. Creepers. I wonder how much damage the creepers do. Oh, okay. That's a lot. Oh yeah, and there's no right-click blocking in this version. You're wondering. Actually, we have arrows. I want to show you guys the bows. The bows are funny. You just point and shoot. There's no pulling back. You just point and shoot. Let's eat some of our food. Yeah, what is this hole over here? I know that was a common thing once deserts were common. You just go around looking for dungeons that had sand that fell in. I have no clue what this is. I'm scared. Oh, that is a dungeon. Wait, I never even visited this dungeon? Wait, you tell me there was a dungeon here the whole time? I never visited it. Yeah, this was pretty common. You just have like big chunks of the ocean drop away for a dungeon. Maybe I just thought it wasn't worth it with all the water on top of it. But you can see the squid are in the game. Can I mine this? I can't tell what type it is. It might be a zombie. Stop moving me, squid. Oh, I'm gonna drown. More air. That is pretty cool. So is there a chest here? The way you can tell there's a chest is there's an extra piece of sand sticking up right here. There's a chest there, and there's also a chest there. There's a sand there sticking up. Mine those away. Oh my goodness, I never even looted this. You guys can see some of the loot. Oh, taking damage. You can heal your bubbles pretty fast. Yeah, there was a saddle on there. I mean, there wasn't, back in the day, there wasn't that much stuff you put in a chest to start with, so there wasn't, weren't that filled up. They also later on changed it, so they spread the items out instead of them being all like in a couple of stacks. That is pretty crazy. There's a dungeon right there. Here I was like traveling days and days. Of course, I was looking for new dungeons, new generation. I can't use my old dungeons. That dungeon could be a newer dungeon because the tower base was built later in my world. That desert looks so messed up. At least that part there does. Let's head over there. Collecting clay was a cool thing to do. There was no bricks in this version, but you could turn around and craft the clay back into clay blocks. Now you can't actually drag. You have to drop it, right click, you split in half. You can't shift click either. You have to click every single time you want to get an item. It was very tedious. I must have been over here one time. I kind of remember coming over here. I remember this was like, oh my goodness, I found this whole new area to explore. Jesus, everything looks so strange. Hey, there's sugarcane over there. Probably where I had to go to get sugarcane. The main tree type was oak. You can see that's the main one. I think they later made it so that birch also comes into the world. I think I have other people that have old worlds like KurtJmac, who's going out to the far lands. His world, I think he's currently playing in 1.7 beta. So his world is actually in a newer version than this one. And he actually started in a newer version than my world as well. So I really don't think of any people that have current episodes on YouTube that have worlds started earlier than mine. So I mean, I could just start up a new episode here. I don't know if I would ever update this world. The reason why I didn't update the world is, like I said, one reason I played on multiplayer, but the main reason is I didn't like enchantments and I didn't like potions. I felt like potions and enchantments were modded because they had that stuff in modded versions of Minecraft. And it didn't feel like it was actually like vanilla survival. It's like, what is this weird thing? Like, we don't have enchantments in real life. We don't have some weird thing that you just throw into a sword and makes it glitter and you can kill mobs faster. Same thing kind of for the potions. Like, what the heck? Like, you just throw this liquid on you and all of a sudden you have all these weird abilities. Like, that didn't make sense to me. But the reason I probably didn't update this world even into like the next version where they still didn't have enchantments and stuff is I was probably playing multiplayer at the time. So when I did come back to this, all those weird stuff were in, and you can see something really weird. The top left-hand corner, you can see the island over there with the sand. That one, you can see how part of it is grass. It's probably one chunk or something. Probably when I updated to a new version, I just slapped in some grass there or something weird. Also, this desert here. It's like desert and kind of grass put together. Yeah, there's no desert temples or anything. Only dungeons are the only cool thing in this version. Even stuff like mine shafts or ravines, even that kind of unique stuff doesn't exist. Definitely remember the birch trees. It was so exciting to get birch trees. There's a brown sheep. Those are extremely rare in this version. Oh my goodness. I don't think there's pink sheep in this version. I just remember brown sheep were like the thing. They don't look very brownish though. More of a tan color. Of course, like, sheep don't drop mutton. I mean, everything's just so weird in this version. I don't think you can even shear them yet. There's like a lot of stuff even in this version that I don't know because I kind of hopped into this version when I mostly played this like an inf dev and an alpha. Just like I don't have the nether, I don't have any nether portal in this world, even though it was added in later alpha. Because I wasn't regularly playing this world, I really didn't worry about getting into all that. But the end dimension and the strongholds, that was all added in the full release of Minecraft, which is 1.0. This is still in beta. I don't know how well this world would do if you would update it newer versions. You probably have to hit certain versions for it to do decent. So when it corrupt, I think cactuses are full. Oh my. What, wait, are all blocks that big? No. Wait, cactus is just that big. What the heck? Mine says of our glitched out cactus. Yeah, so I think cactuses are full blocks. So even if I touch that, yeah, I still get hurt, even though you would think I'd get protected. That's the kind of stuff I'd love to see in the world. Anything unique, because there really isn't that much unique stuff. I mean, this desert when it was added was pretty cool, but this is the kind of stuff that people really got excited about. Like if you watch KurtJmac's videos, he really enjoys finding kind of weird stuff like floating islands and stuff. That's pretty cool. Actual like water generation and making a water fountain. That floating island, cool stuff. That old cheese looking lava. That might have burned. I don't know, maybe. Can it burn? I can't burn that far. I don't know. I doubt I would chop down a tree way over here. And even stuff like my chicken farm was actually relatively new for this world because chickens and their eggs were only added in the later parts of InfDev. That island looks pretty cool. It has a stand on it. It doesn't have a tree on it though, so you can't play Skyblock unless you bring your own sapling. And the terrain is all kind of similar. I think deserts were added recently and maybe spruce trees in these later versions. But other than that, it's just green grass and trees and usually just sand for the and the edges. Not necessarily beaches, they're just kind of sandy parts. When you update your world, you can see it kind of messes up. Like it's probably trying to make this a desert, but it might have been already generated. Let's turn on F3. I hear some stuff here. Hey, look at that. See, guys? We can find mobs pretty easily. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What the heck? That was a trap! That was so scary. How in the world? How did I fall for that? They knew like exactly where I was at too. But these guys were like coming after me. What the heck? Oh my goodness, that's so scary. I got to be careful of where I just start digging. Because I do remember coming back to this world and like playing around with cakes, dispenser, and they also added lapis. They also added charcoal, I think, in these recent versions. Like I like to call them recent versions for this world. Oh my goodness, that looks really cool. So that must be new generation, I think. I don't think I've ever been out this far. Render distance of 2, you really just don't generate that many chunks. The thing about my traveling, when I traveled out really far, I had to come back alive. There's no ender chest, no way to bring back my stuff, so I could not die when I was out there. So it was like really important to make sure to survive the adventure and come back with all my loot. This is a pretty cool view. I think I was just so busy like working on my experiments and stuff, I never really traveled. Back in the day, there was like a whole world that was just dedicated to snow. It was like a snowy world. You can only sleep at night. Hey, at least they tell us something. Feels so weird like just walking around. Like nowadays with elytras and sprinting and all the crazy ways of moving. Nether travel. Just having the slow movement kind of makes you appreciate everything better. You definitely have a lot more time to take everything in. What is with this tree over here? Is this the tree that I collected my first birch from? Or is this just some messed up, burnt up tree? Kind of low health. Let's eat this gold apple and see how much it does. Oh, okay. I think it does like 20. It pretty much heals you instantly. What is this? What is this? Oh, I might have broke the leaves trying to get a sapling. I kind of remember I came over to get like one log or something and try to get saplings. You can't like go into creative, and even if I wanted to fly around, I can't. There's no like open to land or anything like that. It was like even difficult to even cheat back in the day. There was different like plugins and stuff to give you like all the items in the game so you could test stuff in your survival world, because it wasn't until I think like 1.1 or 1.2 when they added creative. All the testing prior to that was either done in survival or done with hacks. That's why like you watch old Etho episodes, he does like a lot of testing in survival. That's why he still kind of does all his testing in survival, because that's kind of just the way it was back then. Crafting tables, doesn't matter what tool you use, it's all the same. Okay, axe and diamond axe, so slow. Okay, I think that's a bug. Am I like standing up and sitting down at the same time? Maybe, I think that's my legs and then my actual boots are sitting forward. And often people ask me like, when did you get into technical Minecraft? But the thing is, I've been playing Minecraft the entire time, so it's like I helped create technical Minecraft without even knowing it by trying to explore the world and push the limits. There wasn't too much you could do in this version compared to like the newer versions. The main things we had to work with was like when they added rails were fun. Moving stuff with water is a big one. When boats were added, that's useful. It's like anything to do with moving. Of course, a couple of versions beyond this one, they added pistons, which was kind of the big thing for it. The redstone stuff is kind of cool, like you can make doors open and close, but other than doors, you really can't interact with anything with redstone. But even like trying our best to be technical in these versions, we did quite a bit with it. We like experimenting with different mobs, and every time something new would come to the game, I would just, test it out, like test out slimes, test out every little new thing, test out cakes, Peters, and all that little stuff. For like everybody after me who tried to get into technical Minecraft, they had to try to learn all the stuff in Minecraft all at once, where I've been learning it over the last 11 some years. But you can kind of tell this is more of a technical feel to the world. I don't have like any like basic house. It's just mostly different areas where I'm working on projects. I had other worlds where I make like houses and stuff and play with my friends. I didn't really even notice it, but of course I picked up a lot of music discs when I was looting dungeons. After you get 2 of them, you really don't need to bring any other ones home. Now if you hold down spacebar when you're walking, this is what it looks like. I don't think it's faster traveling than just walking forward. Back at our mob farm, look at all the goodies here. In this version, zombies drop feathers because they don't drop rotten flesh. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. Anyone who doesn't know that, it's probably quite confusing. Yeah, there's no rotten flesh from these guys. And before skeletons dropped bones, they would just drop arrows. So you just got arrows, feathers, and gunpowder from this farm. I guess string too. String was actually pretty cool. Of course, I mostly did this just for the gunpowder. Now, the thing is with my world, I did a lot of testing. I would place down stuff and I'd often tear it back up again. I would like to make a jukebox. There's a jukebox. Yes, we're back here at the top. I got the jukebox and I also brought some music. So yeah, this time we only had 2 music discs. You see they're not even named or anything. They're just this color one and this color one. But of course once you play it then it says what you're exactly playing. I really had a lot of fun taking this tour. Even though this wasn't like the main world that I played on, I really enjoyed the stuff that I did on here. But since this was the world that I kind of had to myself, I ended up actually putting this onto a flash drive. And then when our computer that we had crashed and got corrupted, we weren't able to get back the other Minecraft worlds. So I did lose some progress in this world by taking it back off the flash drive. But it was kind of upsetting to see that I lost so much other worlds as well as my other siblings who played on a lot of different worlds with me. But that was kind of common back then for computers to be just crashing and losing everything. Nobody really backed stuff up back then. This is also how I lost a lot of my early screenshots. But I learned a lot by playing in these early worlds. Of course, I learned to make a lot of backups and put them on stuff other than just the computer, which back then we just kind of thought would always go and never lose any of the stuff on it. I don't think we were too smart at the time either, because I remember when my mother had problems with the computer, she would take it to like the computer guy, and instead of the computer guy like trying to save anything on it, he would just like erase everything and try to start all over from scratch, like a factory restart. But that also meant I learned a lot of lessons, not only to do with saving worlds and backups, but also to do with doing testing. So rather than constantly like putting up testing stuff and removing it, I started making dedicated worlds where I just leave all my testing stuff up so I can always come back to it. It's really cool to look at those worlds that I started later on. Of course, this world wasn't as important once they came out with creative mode. You wouldn't even need like mods or hacks in order to do creative kind of stuff. And it's pretty crazy to think like back then all the progress was so slow. I'm not sure if I ever play on this world and like save progress on it. Like even what we did today, I'm just going to delete this and keep the original. Who knows, maybe I could start a series on here. If you guys have any questions about stuff that we came across or how it was in the older days, go ahead and ask me down in the comments. I'll try and answer them all. But I really had a lot of fun taking this tour of this world. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And it would be cool if you guys would go ahead and share this video so other people that played Minecraft could see how it was way back in the day. Different challenges that we had to overcome, as well as leave a like on the video. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.